Would you work for free? That's what a lot of people are doing when they volunteer to work outside of their regular paid hours. This usually starts off as a joke. People say it jokingly, like, oh, I guess I gotta put in some extra time this Saturday to work on the project. When I hear people joke about this, I tell them to stop. Don't joke about that. There's nothing funny about that. By laughing or smiling or nodding, you're pretty much giving the okay, like this is okay behavior. This is normal. Everyone should be able to sacrifice some of their time. Listen, if the company is expecting more from you, you should be expecting more from the company. And a lot of times, this is 1.5 times pay, 2 times regular pay. Your time is valuable. So that time could be spent with your family, with your friends, with your hobbies, earning extra money, but you're making the decision to just give it away freely. And a lot of times people do this to prove that they're loyal. You don't have to prove that you're loyal that way. You don't have to build goodwill social capital by just giving away one of the most valuable and precious resources that you have. And it's not just the workers that are to blame, it's management, really. It's a lot of the leadership that's to blame in most of these cases. A survey was given to about 1,400 managers, and they gave a scenario, right? When were they comfortable in making that employee work overtime with no pay? It was a scenario of 2 people. Let's call him John. One John, very loyal. The other John, not so much. When the scenario was given and saying, hey, listen, the company has a tight budget, we're trying to meet this requirement, managers were more comfortable hitting up loyal John. They felt better saying, hey, loyal John, why don't you come in and do some overtime? So his reward for being loyal was losing his time, essentially extra work. And through the scenario, John, the loyal John, he was earning letters of recommendation. So the more awards, the more letters of commendation, the more praise that was given to John, that made the managers feel even more comfortable in making him work overtime. So why were these managers okay? Why do they feel so comfortable in throwing John under the bus, right? Why was that his reward? Well, a lot of people hold this perspective. They hold this view in the world that that's the price for loyalty. If you want to be loyal, if you want to be perceived as a loyal teammate, as a loyal employee, as a loyal member of the company, then you have to do that. You have to make sacrifices. But is that the right perspective to hold? Well, some experts call this ethical blindness. Like these individuals, they want to do the right thing, right? They feel like they have the right morals and principles and they want to do the correct thing. But they don't understand that what they're doing is not moral. It is not the right thing. It is not a good thing to do. It's not a good way to keep the loyal employees. And what they're doing is not consistent with their principles or values that they claim to have. Now, in the federal government, if you are expected to work overtime, most of the time, you have to get approved for overtime. And there's a lot of agencies that are comfortable with this. And they'll even ask you, hey, if you need to catch up on something this weekend, or if you need to catch up on something this evening, put in an overtime request and we have no problem. The budget's there for that purpose. And I've heard stories of people in different agencies that really try to maximize their overtime just to end up earning more money. So in that case, it's a win-win for both the agency and the individual. But then there's smaller agencies, they don't have it in their budget. They can't approve overtime even if they wanted to because the money is not there. Here's the thing, a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their head around, they have a hard time comprehending. When you are gone, the company moves on. The company is still going to be holding their meetings, they're still going to be requiring their reports. Someone's going to come along and replace you. In just a couple of weeks' time, there'll be a new, fresh person in that seat doing the same exact thing, right? Now, what happens when the company is gone? It's just you, your family, your friends, you're kind of left alone with whoever you have. So it's more worthwhile to invest the time with the people that actually care about you, hold your time valuable, and not just give it away freely. Do not let your identity seep into your work, right? Try to resist that. A lot of people in the military do that, right? They become so, I don't want to say indoctrinated, but they become so passionately involved with the military. It's part of their life 24/7. That becomes who they are. They're no longer John or Bob or Susan. They're now part of the Army, and that's dangerous. It's very dangerous to lose sight on who you are and what's important to you. You always need to have your best interest and your family's best interest in mind. This includes being fairly compensated for the work that you do and the time that you spend. And if you're not being fairly compensated, then maybe it's time for a new job. And you might want to consider a federal government job. And if you want to know the 8 steps to get a federal government job, then I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.